Jimmy Carter is the best American president speech. I think that Jimmy Carter is the best American president, not necessarily for his time that he was in office, but for his dedication to America throughout his life. The times were different back in the late 70s and the early 80s. Now our presidents are able to get out their messaging through a non-stop flow of cable news and the internet. When President Carter was in office, he could only rely on the big three, CBS, NBC, and ABC, nightly news, to get his message out. As soon as many Americans focused on his failures, like the Iran hostage situation, President Carter's accomplishments were lost in the day of the news. The pardoning of the Vietnam draft dodgers was a tremendous step for the healing of the country. The Camp David Accord, where an incredible achievement in foreign policy, and no one could dispute that President Carter's non-stop commitment to America and had the world has been most selfless and honorable quest of any president. On day 2 of his presidency, Carter honored his campaign promise. On January 21st, 1977, President Carter gained an unconditional pardon of hundreds of thousands of men who fled and hid from the being drafted into the Vietnam War. Doesn't make sense. At this time in history, President Carter faced a lot of criticism from veterans groups and others, letting lawbreakers, unapologetic people took off the hook for committing crimes against America. President Carter saw it differently. He understood that since the end of the Vietnam War, over 209,517 men had been formally charged with violating draft laws. Since that time has ended, and many look at Carter's compassion for individuals' human life as inspirational. The David Accords are another area that President Carter's compassion for individuals and human life set him apart. On September 5th, 1978, President Carter met with three Prime Minister Menachem Begin, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat, and all of their staff to try to find peace in the unstable Middle East. After 13 days in isolation, on September 17, 1978, the group signed the groundbreaking Camp David Accords. This agreement stated that Prime Minister Begin Israel would give back the Sinai Peninsula that they had taken control of the Sixth Day of War in 1967. In return, President Sadat promised the peace and full diplomatic relations from Egypt to Israel. This is yet another time President Carter was a huge humanitarian and man of peace and brought change to the world. Most presidents faced off the sun set as their term in office, but the true humanitarian and man of peace Carter is not letting that happen. One of President Carter's major philosophic adventures was habit formulation. President Carter became the first volunteer for Habitat for Humanity in 1984 in Americus, Georgia. From there, he worked on an unstaffed New York group trying to build apartments for 19 families. The Carter Work Project joined with Habitat for Humanity to build more than 4,300 homes that are considered Carter's homes. President Carter's humanitarian efforts with Habitat for Humanity had stretched to 14 countries around the world and have gone on for 40 years. This true dedication is unmatched by any other president of any time. Okay, almost done. Jimmy Carter's achievements and dedication to humanity and peace have truly made him the best American president. To the best, it takes more than the time a president is in office. President Carter accomplished were lost in the news of the day, but have remembered in the passage of time. The parroting of the Vietnam draft dodgers was a tremendous step for healing the country. The Camp David Accords were incredible achievement for foreign policies, and no one can dispute that President Carter's non-stop commitments to America and the world through humanity causes like the Carter Work Project and Habitat for Humanity has been the most selfless and honorable quest of any U.S. president, making President Jimmy Carter the best American president.